What's going on, Chazz?
Not much. How you doing today? You feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm ready to roll today. I want to say though, first of all, we thank everybody that tunes in to watch this broadcast. It can be seen every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. But today, Chaz, we're talking about liars, liars, liars. Why do we have to talk about liars, man? I mean, come on, man.
It's because it's really, really bad in the black community. It's all over America. People are using this now as scams. People are using other people's identity. They're lying all over the place. So I think it's something that needs to be touched on. And once again, this is for the people who are, like you say, who run to the spiritual meetings, who run to the Christian buildings. The people
Mhm.
who are Christians, they better really stop this because it clearly says in the Bible that liars go to hellfire. That's what the scripture says. So you got to stop this if you're a Christian.
Well, they don't care about that. Those are just words. And again, let's set the context before we really get into it. The context is as follows: we all have said something that we wanted to do, and then sometimes things don't turn out the way we want them to, and so we can't control what we
Right.
say and then what happens. We're
Right.
talking about the habitual, those who lie, those who wake up lying, those who go to sleep lying, those who constantly lie,
Mm.
those who know they lying, those who playing games about lying. So we got a lot. I know this is going to take us a few weeks to get
Okay.
into. So today's
Okay.
subject is what, Chaz? Liars, liars, liars. And in the context, we're talking about adult liars. Some
Okay.
people tell me sometimes on the broadcast, they say, Jahi, you always giving the youth a pass. And I do, Chaz. I do. No one should be lying
Right.
purposefully. But when a person is young and dumb and full of bubble gum, then you can't expect them to be like those old crawdads like us who's been around for a while. Those of us who know that we're lying through our teeth. So
Right.
let's get into this, Chad. But we got some people that always like to introduce themselves to us, and then we'll get right into what a liar is, and then we'll talk about some of the reasons that people lie. So first of
Okay.
all, Chad, let's see who we got in the house.
Okay. We got Sister Mashonda Fires in there. She says, "Hey, hey, bros. Hey, Mashonda. We got
Now
her
you're
in
gonna be
there.
you gonna pass out when you see this person.
Okay. Oh, what's up, Ray Ray? Brother Ray's in the
Yeah,
building says,
yeah,
"Hey, Hotel. What's up,
yeah.
Ray?"
Yeah, he been on a hiatus, man, but he's back now. He's been in sunny California, but he's back visiting now, so he can come in and make a guest appearance.
Okay, we got another comment in here. Sister Barbara Fires in here. She says, Hotep Kings. We appreciate her comment.
And Ray says this.
And Brother Ray Fires back. He says, I don't lie to people. I love and respect.
Well, Ray, that's a good thing that Ray is saying, but brother, let's be honest about people because most of us as a group, we are liars, and we've got to stop that. That's why we have so many issues. But Chaz, let's talk about this. What is a liar?
Liar, a person who doesn't tell the truth. And it's just
Simple.
basic. Like you said
Exactly.
earlier, things like, and some people, brother, we lie even over the most frivolous things. Did you, let's see here. Brother Ray has some smiley faces, but yeah, we lie about the frivolous things, things that shouldn't be lied about. And then it gets to a point, we lie so much where there's certain people who know us or our employees and stuff like that, our coworkers, they don't trust anything we say because we're lying left and right, right to left. And let me calm down a little bit here. We got another comment. Sister Nikita says, hello, family. Hey, Sister Nikita.
Yeah, these are some beautiful people that's showing up, and I'm telling you, man, they come and watch this broadcast because we're straight shooters, and I just appreciate it. But
Right.
Chaz, lying has been around since language was invented, so we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just saying that as adults, we have to stop it. Those of us who lie for obvious reasons, and so let's begin to look at some of these reasons that people lie. But here's something I want you to say and talk about. Then we'll get right into the reasons. What about this one, Chad? About adults?
Adults shouldn't be habitual liars. That's an absolute fact. Uh, I'll let you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Chaz, as I said it at the prefix. We all say things that we really mean that don't come to pass, and sometimes we have no control over that. But we're talking about those people who lie just because they want to lie. Those people
Mm.
who are adults, Chaz. These are people older than I don't know what, and we lie so much, and this is why our society is out of control because of adults. And I'm not talking about the kids. I'm not talking about the youth because they're going to lie. But Chaz, we've been around long enough to know that we shouldn't be lying like we are, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah. I'll read this comment first and I'll give you some commentary. Sister Nikita fires in here. She says, I used to lie because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. We
Yeah,
do. I've heard of that too, where we love certain people and we don't want to hurt their ego. Like they'll say, for example, do I look nice in this hat or do I look nice in this shirt? Now, in our minds, we think the hat is crappy. We think the hat is garbage. We think the hat is weak. But we'll say, yeah, that's a nice hat. So once again, we've all been in her position where we lie to preserve people's feelings, but you could say it in a nice way. Sister Nikita, you know what, brother? I don't like that hat or I don't like those shoes, but you don't have to, I don't like that hat because you look like a slob in it or something like that. You
well,
don't have to go to that route.
I think you missed the whole point. I think you missed the point that Sister Nikita said. Look at what it says. She says she used to lie. See, she
Right.
doesn't lie like she used to. So in context, she's saying what she used to do because of she don't want to hurt people's feelings. And we're going to talk about that too. But this says a past tense. So that means that this sister is firing on all cylinders, and that's how it should be. We should be firing on all cylinders. And she says what she used to do. So if she used to do it, that means she's not doing it anymore.
Right, and that's what I was trying to put in context. I was saying back at that time when she was doing it, she was trying to, preserve the feelings, which she could have said in a nice way. But we got another comment. Brother Ray fires in here. He says, I lie to enemies in authority. Well, that's, yeah, and that's a dangerous spot because especially the police, they're always looking at us as African Americans, and they don't really trust us anyway. So you kind of got to be careful with that. But yeah, this line thing, brother, this is a way long overdue, and I'm glad we finally touched on it.
You know what? We may not even get a chance to put any comments on any notes, rather our notes on the screen, because we haven't opened up any notes, and everybody's commenting because this is a serious subject. This is a serious issue in the African American community. It's serious all over the world, but in our context, in our culture, we got people that just seem to lie just for the sake of lying, and this is why we're having these types of shows.
Right. Sister Nikita fires back at her. She says, yes, I have learned. Okay, that's good. And Brother Ray fires back at us. He says, don't ask me nothing you don't want to hear with some emojis. Sister Mashana fires away. She says, remember those saying, liar, liar, your pants on fire, laugh out loud?
If that's the case, there's a lot of pants that are burning up, man. They are burning up big. So here are some of the reasons, Chazz, that many adults give as to why they lie. Here we go. Let's jump in this pool right here, and here it is.
Number one, avoiding conflict to prevent disagreements or arguments.
Yeah.
Sister Nikita kind of just went to that. I'm just going to highlight the disagreement part when she asked about preserving people's feelings. Now, that is a disagreement. We feel one way, the other person doesn't. And then we lie, like I said, over things that are frivolous, things that shouldn't be lied about. And sometimes, like we've done this, brother, for so long, we just lose conscious of it, and we just keep going and going and going and going. But we shouldn't be doing this in disagreements. Tell the truth. That way people will respect you and believe what you say.
Yeah, and then it says here, many of us, we lie because we're trying to avoid conflict. We don't like to argue. We don't like to disagree. So we agree with people. And to me, I'm going to say something about that type of person, and I don't mean it in a mean-spirited way. But if that's the kind of person you are, or that's the kind of person I am, you are a weak man.
Come on, bro.
No, you are a weak woman to let someone run all over you, and because you don't want to argue with them, you're going to agree with them. To me, that's childish. And a lot of us are like that. But we got to stop this lying. I'm included. You're included. We're all included. And so we have to work on these things. We really do. And here's another reason that we lie.
Number two, trying to deceive the next person. Yes. And once again, and I want to highlight the word deceive because, brother, this has been taken off, I would say, since the early 2018 and 19, where these scammers are somehow picking up our credit cards. They're finding ways to get in our wallet. And then we get our bill from our little bank, and they're saying that people are spending stuff on our account. Brother, that's lying. Now, we know we didn't go to this place at CVS to spend this. Somehow, some man or woman got in our bank account, and they're lying. They're spending our money. These things are terrible. People are running people's credits up and just tearing a person's bank account down because of lying. And deceiving is another thing. Just trying to get over, for example, if there's an elder and they say, "Can you cut my yard?" And they say, "How much would you charge me?" Now, you know the yard should be maybe $15 worth. But you know that the elder has money, so you say, "I'll charge you 70." And the lady says, "Okay." And you get the money and keep walking. That's deceiving. You know that's not $70 worth, but you're going to do it anyway and keep walking.
Liars, liars, liars. That is our subject, Chazz. And that's true, because it seems like everywhere you turn, everyone is out to deceive the next person. On the phone, they'll tell you can get something for little or nothing. And when you purchase it, it's more than what you thought it is. Or when you tell somebody, "I'm going to show you something," and it's really this way. When they get it, it's that way. And you know, when you're on the phone, and it's like everybody's trying to deceive the next person, and we have to come to grips with it. We are a society that has gotten out of control, and a lot of us don't like to have this discussion because most of our family members are liars. We're liars. Our kids are liars. Our neighbors are liars. Our co-workers are liars. Everybody's a liar because we're trying to get over and trick. That's what it is. We're trying to trick that person, Chazz.
I got to say this real quick, and I'm not going to be long, and I promise I'll go fast. There was an older show called Catfish where there was two couples that would date, but they were living in different states or different countries. In order to date this person, you got to put up a profile picture. Now, instead of a person taking a picture of themselves, uploading it, these men or women would grab a profile of a total different person. You could be black, but on their profile be a white guy with a six-pack, with a nice haircut, with his chest oiled down. And the lady will see that and, "Okay, I've got something." And then when they meet in person at Burger King or CVS or wherever they would meet, the lady would be disgusted because this man used a different profile that wasn't him, and vice versa.
What about this?
A woman could be doing that. Brother, you remember that show? It was called Catfish, and these people were taking some kind of pictures from other people and acting like it was them. Brother, that is deceivement.
It is. A Chazz, you forgot about this one. You're talking to somebody and you want to meet them, and they say, "Send me a photo." So you send them a photo of you back in 1978. And when you show up, you look like you do, and they looking at you. They bug-eyeing. Because they can't believe that, because you took a picture when you were younger, and they think, "Man, this guy's handsome. I cannot wait to meet this guy." And when they see you, you go, "Here I am," and they have to look. We gotta stop. No, we gotta stop. We gotta stop this dumb stuff, Chad. We gotta stop it.
Okay. This is Nikita Fires back in here. She says, "I'm happy you're speaking on this." Okay,
I want to say something. I'm going to say something about the people that watch our broadcast, and especially Sister Nikita. This is a beautiful woman. This is a godly woman. This is a woman who is a straight shooter. This is a woman who has a big heart, and I know her personally. And so she's saying this. She's happy, man. Most of the times, people don't see. They're upset when we talk about this kind of stuff. But she's saying she's happy. She's happy because we have allowed this stuff to go untethered. We have not bothered this lying. And so this is a refreshing type of discussion, because now you see people saying, "I'm happy y'all talking about it, because this lying has gotten out of control." It's been out of control. It's in your family. It's in my family. You a liar. I'm a liar. All of us are liars. And what we're saying today is we don't need to do 8 broadcasts on the application. Just stop doing it. Stop lying so much.
Yeah, it is. It's a good subject Ben had touched on. But I'm going to read the next comment. Brother Ray fires back at us. He says, "I was scared for my life, Your Honor."
Yeah. When you stand before the judge, Here's another one.
Sister Barbara fires in here. She says, "I remember when people would say, 'I put my hand on the Holy Bible,' or 'I put that on my mama, on my kids, etc.' And then the whole time they be lying like a persuasion king."
A Persian rug. Yeah. We used to see back in the day. I used to say this. "I swear for God." That was what I used to say when I was a young boy. When you say "I swear for God," that means you're telling the truth.
Right.
But nowadays, you can swear for God. You can say, "I put my hand on the Bible." You can say, "I put that on my mama," and you still lying through your teeth. Yeah. "I put this on everything that I love." That's the new one. I put this on everything, as if we're telling the truth. Right. We are lying sack, you know what, as a
Right.
community. And I'm saying all of us got to stop it. But for the most part, a lot of us don't want to address this subject because we know that we're no good when it comes to this lying. We are adults, man, lying like that.
Sister Nikita fires in here. She says, yes, Barbara, all the time. And we all remember this. I even remember in middle school when people who used to lie like, and here's the thing, brother, when you get in a spot like that, you should be able to just tell somebody what's on your mind. They should be able to believe you. But when you screaming and hollering, I put that on, because I've heard that too. I put that on everything I love. I put that on the whole, I've heard that before. And
Yeah.
when you're at that spot, that already tells me that you're probably in a bad spot and you're lying. So you already screwed right there.
Here's another reason, Chazz. Why do we lie?
Number 3, procrastination. To delay dealing with an issue of responsibility. Now, don't get me wrong. Every now and then, we all plan and say, I'm going to go do this after work. And then sometimes the car breaks down, or we don't have enough energy, or we're tired, or we need to go home. I get that. But there's a difference where you have an issue, and every day you keep saying, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. And you know in your heart you don't want to do it because I don't know if it's laziness. I don't know if you just don't want to do it. But we keep lying and delaying it, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. And we've all been in that spot to where we just keep procrastinating and it never gets done. So I know you probably want to say something about that as well.
Yeah, you almost made me cuss, Chazz. You almost made me cuss because I'm agreeing with you 100%. This is what I despise, even in my own life. I despise someone that has a responsibility. They don't do it, and we ask them, why didn't you do it? And instead of saying, I procrastinated, I just didn't do it, we're going to give them a lie. It's an excuse. You see, we call it an excuse. We say, well, here's my excuse. And it's legitimate. No, it's illegitimate. You are lying through your teeth. You are as rotten as an apple. And see, this is the stuff that we don't like to say because we like to sugarcoat lies, and we like to hold lies in our lap and put it to sleep. And we laugh and call things little white lies. But see, nobody is upset about the lying. But yet this procrastination is something that we all deal with. And that would help us do what we're supposed to do. But what do? When you challenge me and say, Big Brother Jahi, you were supposed to do something last week. What happened? And instead of me saying, Chazz, I didn't do it, I'm going to tell you, well, Chazz, and I'm going to think up a lie. And I'm lying, but I'm going to still lie to you because that's how we are as a society. And this is why we have to do that.
Sister Nikita fires back in here. She says, oh, my mama, laugh out loud.
Yeah, they say that like that, back in the day, if you say something about the person's mother, those were fighting words or that was serious. When you say, oh, my mama, I meant this that way or whatever. And then we find out that even though you saying on your mama, you still a liar. You still lying. So you ain't got to put that on your mama.
Yeah, it's getting out of control. And I still hear that to this day. Some people are still saying that they put it on what they love and stuff. Like you said, they still lying through their teeth. Brother Ray fires back at us. He says, I did not know that I was speeding, officer.
He hit that. Yeah. He hit that because you're doing 75 miles in a 35 mile an hour speed zone. Right. You get pulled over, and instead of taking it like a man, knowing that you could have killed someone or you could have hurt yourself, when you get pulled over and they say, do you know how fast you were going? You'll say, I have no idea. And then when they tell you were going 75 miles per hour, you say, well, I can't believe I was going that fast. You knew you were going that fast. You knew you were going that fast. I knew I was going that fast. And this is the one I want to spend some time on, this one right here, Chazz. This one right here.
Number 4, habit. Because they have become accustomed to lying. Like I said it earlier, just lying about any and everything. And it comes to the point where they're not even thinking about it. They just lying. And then on top of it, it gets to a point, we all know people like this, to where you ask them something and it's something minor. And sometimes just off of their facial expressions or just their body movement, you can tell that they're lying. It's like it's gotten to a point where you always checking and triple checking behind them. They've gotten so bad at this, you just don't believe anything that they say. And when it's at that point, you know that the person has some serious issues at hand.
It's just like the boy who cried wolf. The moral of the story is he lied so much when the wolf came and really ate his behind up, nobody believed him because he had lied all the time. But I want to say something to the African-American community, to our people. I
Okay.
want to say something to us now, Chazz, about this habitual lying.
Okay.
We have got to stop. We have got to stop. A
Yeah.
lot of us are just we just living in lies. Everything
Mm.
out of our mouth, we're lying in lies. You know, we've got to stop this, Chaz. And I wish that these little words we're using would help, but I know it's not going to help, because once you start lying, and once I start lying, especially as a young kid, and we grow up like that, when we become old, it becomes a habit. And if
Mhm.
lying has become a habit to us, then we are sick individuals. And a lot of us don't want to acknowledge this, but a lot of us are sick, Chaz. In other words, there's something wrong with us that
Yeah.
we cannot tell the truth. There's
Mhm.
something wrong with us that we live like this. And I get frustrated because we don't have to be this way, but we're
Right.
choosing to be this way. And this is
Right.
why we need to always let people know that this is not good, man.
It's not. Sister Barbara fires in here. She says, once upon a time, someone knocked on my door and told my son and tell them I'm not here. He told the person at the door, she said she's not here. I'm done having him answer the door. Laugh out loud. Yeah.
Back in the day, the adults used to tell us when somebody came or somebody called, they would say, "Who is it on the phone?" And we would say, "It's so and so," like a bill collector. And then they would say in the background, "Tell them I'm not here." Why don't you tell them you don't have the money? Why
Okay.
don't you tell them that you're not going to pay? Why don't you tell them that you have fallen on hard times, you don't intend to pay? When you get the money, you'll let them know. Why do you have to lie? You are here. You are there. Take the phone and tell them to their face, "I'm sorry, Mr. So-and-so," or whatever. "I was supposed to do this, but things happen." But quit being a coward. Quit
Yeah.
putting kids up to lying. And then when the kids grow up, we do the same thing that they taught us.
Yeah.
See, we think it's cute. This is not cute, man. This is
It's
ridiculous.
it's the same thing with a lot of these thugs or some of these guys who are running from the law and they've done something that they had no business doing, and then they run to their boys or their girls' house and they say, "Okay, let me stash that over here for a few nights." And for some reason, the FBI has paperwork on this man, and once they knock on the door, they say, "Have you seen Sean Brown?" "No, he's not in here. He's not in here." And then they have a warrant. Now this Negro is lying under the bed, trying to hide from the police, and you know he's in there. But you're saying, "No, he ain't in here. I ain't
Yeah.
seen Sean.
You
I
should
ain't
you,
seen
you
him in
should
months."
you shouldn't have been harboring a fugitive to begin with. And here's a good one. Raymond said, "Do what this one here. This is a lie right here."
I'll do it tomorrow.
See, everybody that's on this broadcast today, they're nailing this. Sometimes we don't get that many comments, but the comments are flying in today because they know this is a serious issue. This is a serious problem. "I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. I'll get around," knowing in our hearts that we have no intention on doing it. And this is why our communities are so messed up, man, because a lot of us
Mm.
are not looking at the truth when it comes to, we got to stop this lying, man.
We really do, brother. It's something that we have to nip in the bud. But as it says on the screen, number 5, pressure, feeling compelled to lie due to external pressures or expectations. Now, this is something basic. You may have a project at your job. It's supposedly due, let's say, August the 5th. And August the 4th or 5th gets here, and your manager says, "Well, how's that project?" Or "How is this thing coming along?" You say, "Oh, yeah, it's done. I'm just touching it up. I promise you, you're going to like it. It's done." August the 6th gets here. "Where's the project?" "Okay, just let me get a little bit more time. It's just a few more things." These are expectations and pressures that are upon you at your job or even a project that you need to complete. And instead of just saying, "You know what, I am not done. I'm so far off. I can't complete this thing," you just keep making it seem like you're 1 or 2 seconds away from completing it when you so far off.
Yeah, don't let pressure, and that's one of the things that we'll talk about later on, but we're going to use other words for it. When we get older, we get under extreme pressure to do things. And so I'm saying we should not allow anything to pressure us to where we have to lie. See, we have people in our communities, people in our so-called race, people in the world that are so messed up mentally that everything that comes their way, they feel as though they're being pressured. And so the only way to release the pressure valve is to lie. And so they lie, and you don't have to do that. Don't let anything pressure you. If you have a project that's due and you see that you're not going to get it done way before the time, because you know and I know, you
Right.
tell that person, I'm not going to be done. See, this is how we create lies,
Right.
and this is why it's crazy that we're talking about this, but this is one that really, really gets me.
Number 6, forgetfulness, claiming to have forgotten the truth or details.
Yeah, I
And
forgot. You're a lie. You're a lie. Oh yeah, did you ever take care of that? Chaz, you were supposed to have been doing something the last week. Did you do that? Oh no, I forgot. No, you didn't forget. You're lying. See, that's what
yeah,
we're seeing. You're lying.
you
Take that
just
one
did.
away.
I was just going to touch that up real quick. Basically, when you saying that you forgot, that's basically a code for you didn't want to be there, or you didn't want to do it, because we don't forget things that are important to us. So some of these things, it's just people choosing not to do it, and then they're chalking it up as that they so-called or lied or forgot. And here's the other thing. There's people who lie, and it's kind of forgetfulness. I'm going to tie this in, forgetfulness, where you lie, you forgot what the person told you, and they say, well, didn't you say this? You say, oh no, it was this. So it's like you lied about that, and then you got to double up another lie because see the person caught you. So now you got to try to wipe that up and say, oh no, it was this. So it's like you're constantly lying in a loop. So that's what I want to just touch on forgetfulness, because it has gotten to that point, brother, where we have forgotten what we told someone, and then it slips out, and then we're trying to recover our bases.
Yeah, this show is really a serious broadcast. We're having fun with it tonight, but there's some seriousness behind all this laughter. And the seriousness is many of us have gotten out of control with our tongues. Every religion, every spiritual principle, they talk about how the tongue, how this thing should be controlled. But for the most part, we don't care about those verses or those surats or shirats, those different things that we're supposed to be doing, because this tongue is not controlled. We will sit up, and what my mother used to always say this, somebody told her a bold-faced lie. In other words, they just sit up there and told her to her face. She knew they were lying, but
Right.
they kept talking as if they also had it so good that they believed it themselves, even though it was a lie.
Wow.
The person was lying, but the person that was lying believed what they said because they were lying so good. They fooled their own self. They fooled their
Wow.
own self.
and like like you just touched up, we touched up on this, and I've said this earlier in the before the show started, or 5 minutes into it. The people who are Christians, this is a wake-up call. If you are lying, you do want to stop that, because I
They
forget
don't
the
care. They don't care,
specific
Chaz.
verse, but it says that you go to hell if you are
You,
a
you, you,
habitual
you,
liar.
you can quote any verse you want to from the Bible, from the Quran. You can vote any religious verse you want to. This is not going to stop until people's hearts are changed. And as adults, we ought to be ashamed of ourselves to have this discussion. But we have to have it because there's too many liars.
Sister Barbara Fies in here. She says, they said, you said, I said.
Yeah, that's just talk, just rhetoric. People be saying, well, they said this, they lying. Then they say, you said that, and then they lying. And then I said this, what he said this, and then she said that, and I said this. And all the he said is a lie, the she said is a lie, and what we said is a lie too. And this is just showing us all of these lies. Now, next one, I want you to talk about, because Raymond is gonna trip. Raymond gonna trip you out with this one. I know you're gonna take this one. Look at this comment about liars.
Okay. Brother Ray says Santa Claus is coming. Now, yeah, and here's the lie too in that. Not Ray, but I'm talking about the people who go to that ideology. People like the parents, they say, well, why do you celebrate Christmas? And they say, well, because I do it for Santa and my kids. And you tell your kid, Santa brought you this. Now, this ties into Ray's comment where they tell the kids that Santa is coming. You not telling your kid that Santa is coming because you believe that. You're telling your kid that Santa is coming because you love the holiday, you love the tradition. Instead of just saying mommy or daddy bought you these presents because we think you should have it or what have you, you're lying and saying that Santa Claus gave you this or that he's coming and you have to be on your best behavior. These are bold-faced lies, and Brother Ray is spot on with that, because a lot of parents say that, well, I'm just celebrating Christmas because of my kids. That's terrible. That's terrible.
I'm finna run the gamut. I'm finna run the gamut on this liars. This whole thing about lying, because that's what we're doing the broadcast about. The adult liars. We have lied so much, Chaz, that it has been weaved into our country. We lie and say that January the 1st is the new year. That's a lie. We lie. February the 14th, we call it Valentine's Day, where we say we love somebody and buy them flowers and buy them a heart and buy them candy and buy them necklaces and buy them clothes and buy them drinks. So that's a lie. We don't mean that. We lie to these kids talking about an Easter bunny, or a tooth fairy. We lie about a certain day, like so-called Santa Claus. We lie about everything. We're liars, liars, liars. We've got to stop this, Chazz. And most of us are the culprits because we're too old to be acting like this. We'll lie just because words are coming out of our mouth. And we've got to stop this, man. We're liars.
Hey, Nushi comes in here. She says, peace and blessings, family. We appreciate you for coming in. Brother Ray fires at us. He says, I told mine it was no Santa Claus. My mother said I was ruining my children's childhood. No, you told them straight. And that's a good thing to nip it in the bud early. And I don't care what other, because the thing is they're at school. Excuse me. Their friends are getting presents. Their friends are getting gifts. So the kids are going to get angry and sad. But like Brother Ray is telling them at a young age, I'm not going to let my children indulge in that because it's a lie. And number two, you messing that kid's mind up because as he gets or she gets older, it's going to be hard for him to break that habit. So just don't tell him in it silly Santa Claus fair. It's ridiculous.
Lies everywhere. Lies in church. Lies in the mosque. Lies in the spiritual meetings. I mean, everybody's lying, man. Here's another reason why people lie.
Number 7. Conformity to fit within a group or to adhere to social norms.
Let me take that one because I've been waiting on this one. I've been sitting here waiting for this to come up. We want to be like some people, and so we want to fit within. We want to fit within their group. In other words, we want to be like other people. So we lie so other people can accept us. See, it's low self-esteem at work. We're so low. We're so low. And this happens a lot in families because a lot of us in our families, we don't believe what a lot of our family members put down or put out. When we get around them, though, instead of holding our ground, instead of telling them the truth in love, we conform and we agree with them. We know that they're no good. We know that they're lying. We know that this is hogwash. But instead of saying in love, I understand that's what you believe. I understand that's what you're dealing with, but I don't do that. We sit there and get drunk with them and agree with everything they say, and we know that they're lying. So we want to be, it's like we want to fit in, Chazz. We want to be with the in crowd. We want people to like us. We want people to love us. This is why a lot of people don't like to confront people because they don't want to lose friends because they're so weak. They want people to love them. They always want people to like them. So they got to watch how they say things and watch how you do things. But basically, all they're doing is nothing but lying. And they're lying because they want to conform to these people that they're afraid of.
And I was just going to take it a step further. You see that a lot on number 7, where a lot of the kids in school where they kind of feel like outcasts or they feel bullied because of their gear or what kind of shoes they have or where they live in a certain neighborhood. Other kids pick up on that, and the kids do bully them, and it is terrible. I don't condone kids getting bullied, but then the kids start to try to figure out ways on how to be with the popular clique, how to be with the popular group. So then they're in a terrible spot. And once again, these children should not be bullied. But like you just mentioned, these kids start to try to do any and everything they can to be involved with that group because they're just looking for something to hold on to. And that's a dangerous spot to be in.
Yeah, because I was talking about the adults. You're talking about kids. I'm talking about African-American adults. I'm talking about all of us, Black, so-called people, whatever kind of people you want to call it. We're lying too much, and we're trying to conform. We're trying to be like other people. That's why we don't stand up to the people that's lying. And this is why we don't tell people the truth. Like you mentioned earlier, there's a way to talk to people. There's a way to talk to people, but we're afraid of our kids. Many of us, we lie, and we're going to talk about how if we get a chance to today, how we lie to our kids when we know we don't have any intentions on doing what we say. If you go to bed tonight, I'm gonna take you to the zoo next Friday. And the kid goes to bed, right? And then the kid wakes up that next Friday saying, "Are we going to the zoo?" And then we get angry when the kids bring it up because we know we weren't going to do it, and we say, "Get out my face." We are some liars, liars, liars. I'm done with that, Chazz. Go ahead with this next one.
Number 8, maintaining privacy, to keep personal information secret. I'll let you get this. I'm kind of stumped by this one.
Well, no. Sometimes people lie. In other words, if you say, "Big brother Jahi, how was your health?" Instead of me saying, "Chazz, you know what? I got high blood pressure, and I'm not really taking my medicine, and I'm also, I'm not exercising." See, I don't want you to know I have high blood pressure and that so I want to keep that secret. I want to keep it secret. So you say, "Big brother Jahi, how you doing?" And I say, "Man, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good." And as soon as I go around the house, I can't catch my breath because I've got so much stuff inside of me, you see, because I can't walk a block. I can't, hey, okay, they want to keep this information secrecy. It's a secret. It's a secret. We don't want people to know about this. Chazz, you've been taking care of yourself? Oh, yeah, I'm doing good. So you're not. You're eating everything under the sun. You're not exercising. You're not drinking enough water. You're putting too much salt on your food. You're ingesting too much sugar. You're not working out. So you want people to think that you're doing something, but you're not. So you're trying to maintain privacy. Well, he's a private person. No, he just doesn't want you to know that he's up to no good.
Right. Yeah. And I'll add to that too. It's not anything to be ashamed about because listen, we all have things that we're dealing with in life, but I think we kind of get angry because if people find out that we have one kind of crack in our armor, we are afraid that other people are going to gossip and tell the family about us. I'm not condoning it, but I'm saying people are trying to keep it a secret because they don't want family members and stuff gossiping. But here's the funny part. They're going to do that regardless. So it means nothing if you keep it to yourself or not. But that's just what they say so they can keep their little information private.
Yeah, and sometimes when people ask us something, Chazz, we don't have to tell them everything.
Right.
We don't have to. Now, I was given an illustration, and I went too far with the illustration. But we don't have to get that deep. Just keep your mouth shut. But see, you don't have to lie. This is what we're saying. You don't have to lie, Chazz. And I don't think we realize this because most of us are liars. I'm a liar. You're a liar. Most of these people that's putting these comments in, they're liars. And I don't mean they're habitual liars, but we lie, see? And we don't want to acknowledge, I need to work on my lying. So how do you work on your lying? You tell the truth. Just tell the truth. But a lot of us don't like that because of this next one.
Number 9, avoiding embarrassment, to not feel ashamed or embarrassed about something.
I gotta say this. I'm gonna give you illustration on this chat, and you can run with this one. I'm giving you the permission to run with this one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell everybody a secret that I had when I was a boy, and maybe about 7 or 8.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell everybody a secret. Here it is. I used to wet the bed. I peed in the bed. I used to pee in the bed, Chazz. I wake up in the morning and I used to pee in the bed. And my mother would ask me often, I smell urine. Did you pee in the bed? No, mama. I would cover the sheets up, you see. I would put the sheets over the pee, you see, and try to make sure that nobody got in that spot. But every time she would see that or feel that wetness, she would whack me upside my head, because I lied to her. All I had to do was tell the truth. Mama, I urinated. Yes, I did. But see, I try to cover it up. And this is what most of us adults do. Most of us adults, we do this in life. We don't urinate in the bed, but we lie to cover up something that we don't want people to see. See, I'm getting real now. See, nobody want to get down on this part. We lie because we're trying to cover up something that we did, you see. And we don't want people to know what we did. So we try to cover it up. And we are lying dogs, every one of us. And this is why it is the way it is. And this is why most of the people don't comment to say, I did that, except for Nikita, or I used to do that, or I'm working on that, because they're so messed up, they can't even come clean. You see, they can't even come clean. Won't even say, that's my problem. That's my, and we're going to get to this avoid embarrassment because we got to deal with that. Because see, I was embarrassed, Chazz. I was embarrassed. I didn't want them to know that. Right. Well, you might as well just told the truth, embarrassment or not. That's reality. Because when they find out what's going on, you could get yourself messed up.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say avoid embarrassment. Like you said, I could be practical with it and just say it on this screen. For example, you anybody, even myself, I could come out and say, you know what, I am a big liar. I have been dealing with this for 30 or 40 years.
And
It
yeah,
is a
just leave it
tough
alone,
time for
right?
me,
And
and
keep going.
and it's not nothing to be ashamed about or to
But,
feel embarrassed about either.
but see, Chaz, here, I'm gonna put some comments on here, but this is you and I talking now. This is you and I talking. See, the reason why I'm telling you most people don't do that because they don't want people to think about them a certain way. See, this is adult language right here. This is adults only. This ain't for kids, but kids can watch it. This is adults only. See, most adults, we don't want people to think about us. Like, for example, you may say, Jahi, you don't have a car yet. You've been working for like 2 years, and so you told me a year ago you were gonna save up for a car. And instead of me saying I blow my money, or I've fallen on hard times, or I mismanage my money, I'm gonna tell you, oh yeah, Chaz, you know what? I'm gonna get that car, dude. I went to the car lot last week. I'm waiting on them to bring this car in. See, I'm lying, you see, because
Right.
I don't want you to think that I'm less than a man because I didn't get a car. This is what we adults do. See, we don't like to come clean. We like to play games and make people think that we're all that. But that's the problem right there. We don't want people to think about us a certain way because we got this image that we want to uphold. And yet, as they often say, you can't fool yourself. You can fool the people, but you can't fool yourself.
Excuse me, brother. I need to run and get some tissue real quick. It's gonna take about 5 seconds.
Okay, so we talking about now adults only. This broadcast can be seen every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time and at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. We're talking about how we're lying too much as a people. We're just lying. We gotta stop lying so much. Liars, liars, liars. Now Raymond says this. Brother Raymond says, I just won't tell you anything. Instead of lying to you, I won't tell you the whole truth. Well, that's a good point there. You don't have to tell everybody everything, but you ain't got to lie to them. See, that's the point that we're trying to make. You don't have to lie. And we sound like we're beating dead horses tonight. We're saying the same thing over and over and over because this is a problem in our communities. This is a problem in our family. This is a problem in our world. This is a problem all over. And yet a lot of us don't want to come clean. Why do you lie so much?
It's a psychological thing, I would say. Before I re-raise comments, it's a psychological thing. It's something that we've been dealing with for years. We don't know how to shake it. I'm not condoning and I'm not caping for these people. I'm just telling you why we do it so much. And then last but not least, like you said, we're afraid or we don't want people to look at us in a certain light or certain manner.
If you stay right there, you good. If you stay right there, you real good. Because most of us adults, and I'm not going to let us off the hook.
Okay.
Most of us adults, we have some idiosyncrasies. We have things that's going on inside of us, our behavior. And we know how we are, but other people don't know it. And we don't want them to know it. And we shouldn't want them to know it. But we don't have to lie, Chaz. We don't have to keep lying the way we're lying. Or we forgot Raymond. He said that liars think others are liars too. Yeah, because that's how they feel like the world is out to get them. So, you lie to them, they lie to you. So they say nobody. And then when you tell the truth, many liars will say they don't believe it because they've been lying so many years. They don't think anybody can tell the truth anymore.
Sister Barbara comes in. She has some emojis. Sister Mashonda has the same with a bunch of emojis. They're laughing. And then Brother Ray fires back at us. He said, well, when you pee on yourself rather than pee yourself off.
That boy, he's crazy, but he's making some valid points, though. Here's another comment, Chaz.
Sister Barbara fires back at us. She says, my conscience eats me up when I lie about something. Therefore, I refrain from telling lies as much as possible. That's good, though. Her conscience is telling her, I made a mistake. I did wrong. I didn't do wrong. I'm sorry. I did wrong. What I did is not good, and I need to do something about it. But here's the thing I'm going to say. A lot of people, I'm starting to believe this. They don't have a conscience. They don't care about anything. They don't have a conscience. They'll do any and everything to anyone. This is a dog-eat-dog world, and I am convinced now more than ever in this generation in 2024, old and young, they don't have a conscience, and this is why you see some of the behavior that you're seeing. But I'm glad that she does, but I'm just saying for us in general, most people you see that live in your neighborhood, that are talking to you every day at work, or even that you talk to on the phone, they don't have a conscience, brother. I'm sorry to say it.
She's right. And I like to say this too. Some people's conscience is seared. That's what you're saying. Their conscience is seared. In other words, it doesn't bother them anymore. They just lie. And these are people. Now, I want to say something right now, Chazz, that people may not want to hear. They may not like, but I'm being honest on this part here.
Okay.
Some of us need some help, Chazz. Some of us need some help. We need some help. But yet we don't see this as something big. We see it as just something small. But yet we are lying every chance we get. We're lying to these children. We're lying in front of the children. We're lying to our relatives. We're lying to our friends. This is the worst part. And I'll let you take this here. This is the worst part. When you lie to yourself, Chazz, when you lie to yourself, you are a foolish man. When you lie to yourself, when you know something's wrong with you, but you tell yourself, and I tell myself, there's nothing wrong with me, but there is something wrong with me. And so I act as if there's nothing wrong with me. All the while, there is something wrong with me. And so psychologically, I am screwed up, man.
I got a question. Ray says, yes, men are liars with emojis. Yeah, most people are. Let me just say this. Now, I have a question. Now, I'm not knocking anyone who does have an issue and then they go pay their money or their insurance pays for them to go sit on the couch and talk to a person in counseling. Well, here's my question with the lying part. Why, and for anybody who has that counseling, I'm not coming down upon them. I'm just asking a sincere question. Why should I pay for someone to tell me, oh, well, if you're a liar, all you got to do is stop lying? I know that. Now, it's easier said than done. Now, and I know with alcoholics and people who have drug issues is a little bit harder. But I just kind of think these people are here. They sit in these couches and they have on these fancy clothes and they're saying, oh, well, tell me more, tell me more. I just kind of think it's a scam a little bit, because why should I pay you? Deep down, when these people are off that sofa, when I'm by myself, when I'm at home, I know what I'm dealing with. So for me to pay someone to tell me, well, all you got to do when you lie, I know what I have to do. Just stop lying. So I think personally, you shouldn't be paying people to tell you something that you know that you should be doing. Now, once again, let me be clear. I'm not knocking anyone who pays to go see counselors. I'm just saying in this specific incident, you shouldn't be paying a counselor to help you with lying. Just stop doing it.
Okay, let me add to that, because there are some people that fits the bill you just said. There are some people that fit that bill. They know. But Chazz, there are some people who are weak. Just like we can tell an alcoholic, you need to stop drinking. And to us, that's easy. All he has to do, or all she has to do, is stop drinking. And that sounds good. It sounds so simple, but it's not that simple, man. When this is inside of your soul, man, and some of us are liars. We're pathological liars. We're habitual liars, and we do need help. So for now, the people that you're talking about, that's a group of people, you're right. And I agree with you 100%. Some of us don't need that. But there are some of us, man, that are sick, and we need some kind of help because we can't stop doing it. And that's why I'm trying to say it's not as easy as you and I are making it. It's difficult. And there's different types of people. And we have to open the door for all types of people. Because you're just talking about one type of people. I'm talking about another type of people. And then there are other people too that does that.
Okay. We got Brother Ray back at us. He finds in here. He says, I'm done commenting Facebook on that blank stuff again.
Yeah,
wow.
So here's a brother that says, know yourself, do not cast pearls before swine, for they will fly at your throat and trample beneath their feet. Amun Ra. Yeah, he's his brother hitting us with some spiritual language, and he's talking about Ra. Yeah, this is spirituality at its best, talking about Amun, the unseen forces that works when we don't even know what's going on. He's talking about Ra. He's talking about the life force that gives us energy, that gives us vibration. So he's going on some deep stuff. And so we're talking about, and that's what helped us, those of us who are in the spiritual realm, to stop lying. And I'm going to check you, Chazz. I'm going to check you now. I'm going to check you now. You've been sneezing a lot today. When you have to sneeze, there should be a mute button. There should be a mute button.
Okay, I see it at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can sneeze, so I can't hear. We don't need to hear all that stuff, Chazz. We don't need to hear all that crap. So hit that mute button. So yeah, I'm checking you. I'm checking you live on Facebook. Everybody can see it. This
Okay.
broadcast can be seen every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. It's called Adults Only. Tonight's subject is liars, 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 because it's too many of us adults lying like that, Chaz. We don't have to, man.
Brother Ray said, let's go to Liar Anonymous meeting.
Do something. Do something. You know,
Yeah.
because that's not good. Here's another one, Chaz. Why do people lie?
Number 10, to gain an advantage, they want something from you, so they lie to you to get it. Yeah, and I hate to say this, but a lot of us do this where we'll say, I don't have but 10 cents to my name. They'll ask their neighbor or their cousin. They'll say, cuz, let me get $50. I promise I'll pay you next week. Now, they know in their heart, when next week comes, they have no intentions on paying them. They just feel like pocketing $50 and keep moving. Now, you give that cousin $50, and when you say, he says, well, when you going to pay me back? Okay, I'll get you next week. And then when next week comes, there's a beef, there's an argument. Oh, you can get your this little funky $50, but it wasn't a funky $50 when you asked for it. So now y'all two are beefing and arguing. They wanted something from you and they got it, and now it's just a huge disconnect because one party is talking about not paying you ever again. The other party is saying you better pay me or else. So it's just a terrible spot to be in when you try to gain a scheme and get over on people.
Well, I'm going to take a page out Brother Wilbert's, Brother Harris, the spiritual guy that gave us all that great stuff. I'm finna get deep again because he didn't open the door so we can get down. Okay, people lie to us because they're trying to gain an advantage. Some men and women in relationships, they lie to that other person because they want something. See, and also some of us as individuals, we lie to other people because we're trying to get their heart. We're trying to get their mind. It's something that we're trying to get from them. And instead of us coming out and saying it, we're sneaky, you see. We try to be clandestine. We want to do this thing where nobody can see it, you see. But all along, we're trying to get an advantage. And it's something they want from you. And a lot of times we'll butter people up. Like all the time, we'll be saying nice things to them. And then within a month's time, we're going to ask them for something. And so all that time, we knew we wanted something from them, but we waited because we buttered them up. So we're trying to get something from them. And this is how we are. We're going to do one more, then we're going to quit. We're going to come back because we got a lot of more comments. I mean, we got a lot of more points to make, Chaz, but it's almost 8 minutes in left, I should say. So this is one I want us to end on, but I definitely want to put this on and then we'll leave on this one and come back. But let's talk about this for a while, then let's get out of here.
Number 11, status fronting. They want you to think they are more than they are. So they lie to make themselves look good. Yeah, and a lot of us have that. For example, on Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, a lot of these platforms where there's certain people, content creators who may think they're just basic people who may work at, let's say, a call center job where they may work at Best Buy or somewhere like that. And they may want you to think that they're living like Idris Elba, or they're just really, really, really arrogant, and they got a lot of money and things like that. So that's what I would say status fronting is, where they want you to think that they have these luxurious, glamorous lifestyles, and then they're basic people. But I think those people are probably trying to, they probably have low self-esteem, and they're trying to cling on to something to butter themselves up. That's what I have for the status fronting thing.
And I agree with you 100%. This status fronting is a problem. It's problematic. We want people. Now, this is most of us.
Okay.
We want people to think we're more than we are. We really do. It's okay with being who we are. But we want people to think we are celebrities. We want people to think we are actors. We want people to think that we're CEOs of companies. We want people to think that we are presidents of companies. See, this is how we are. We want people to look at us that way. We carry ourselves that way. Ain't got two nickels to rub together, but we want people to think that we're all that in a bag of chips. And I'm saying, man, like if you ask me, big brother, what are you doing now? I got a business, man, and I'm making $100,000 a year. When you investigate and go behind the scenes, you find out that I don't have a business, and you find out that I'm only making maybe $12 an hour, which is fine. But I'm only making $12 an hour, but I want to make you think I'm more than I am. So I'm going to tell you this, or I'm going to embellish, which is going to come up next week, but I just want to hit on this now. I want to embellish the truth instead of telling the truth that I make $12 an hour and leaving it at that, because I don't want you to think that I'm not an important person. I want to tell you I only make $12 an hour, but next month I'm jumping up to 25 because they gave me. So I'm embellishing the truth instead of being honest. We are I almost curse, Chazz. You keep making me almost curse. We are some sick, you know what kind of people when we can't be honest. We can't be honest. And I'm just up in the air because it's too much lying going on, man. It's way too much lying going on. And fronting, trying to be more than we are.
Absolutely.
Well, let me ask you this, Chad, because that's the last one. But I'm gonna ask you this. We'll do some comments and we'll get out of here. But let me ask you this.
Okay.
Chad, what do you think? Now you might have answered it a few seconds ago, but I just want to ask you this about status fronting.
Okay.
Why can't people be who they are and let it ride at that? Well, why can't we be who we are?
Two things. I would say number one, like we touched on earlier, we want people to accept us. We want to feel like we are involved, and we want people to like us and basically cradle and love us for something that we're not. And second of all, and I hate to say this, I would say low self-esteem. Low self-esteem is probably the main one, because you see it all the time, like we touched on earlier, the catfishing, people using other profile pictures of others. It's not them. All these things signal to low self-esteem, or lying, like you just said, lying to someone, telling them you're a CEO of the Mercedes-Benz company, and you know in your heart you're not. These are things so people can run around and say, well, yeah, Chazz is the CEO of the Benz, knowing I'm not. And now I want a crowd of people to, cradle and flock to me. So I would say low self-esteem, brother, is probably the main. It's a low self-esteem and self-acceptance. We want people to accept us.
Yeah, just like some of these rappers, man. They rap in these videos. Now, not the ones that have a lot of money, but it's a lot of rappers. All these rappers don't have Mercedes-Benzes. All of them don't have Lamborghinis. They rent those, so they're lying to people, making people think that this is their car when it's not their car. Because when you see them, they kind of get an Uber in many instances, but in the video, they want you to think that this is their car. They flashing money that's, this thick. They throwing money up in the air. They don't. That's not their money, man. You see, so they're lying. They're lying, man.
Yeah, and I'm kind of old-fashioned, and I know we got to go out. There was an older show that on MTV. It used to be called MTV Cribs. Now, as a young man, a lot of us got sucked into that, where these guys, like Exhibit, these guys will have houses, has 50 bedrooms, 50 bathrooms, 30 car garages. Now, the thing is, like you just said, as a young person, I was intrigued by that. I'm like, wow, these dudes are really doing something. But like you mentioned, they rented that for that. It was an hour show, I think. So they just rented that for an hour. And then when it was done, it was over with. They really lived, like you said, they lived in a decent little condo, but they weren't really, living in this big mansion like that. And some of them were just doing that to fill airtime. But that show really had me sucked in. Do you remember that show?
Yeah, I remember that story. Like even the Housewives of Atlanta, those ladies that have these basketball husbands or football husbands, and they in these nice homes, and black women and black men and African American men and women. We watch it and we want to be like them, and so therefore we're acting like them. But see, this is the kind of stuff we're dealing with. We got to get out of here. We got a few more comments, but we got to get out of here, man.
Sister Barbara Fires here. She says, "Tell the truth and shame the devil." Brother Ray says, "The great deceiver and also falsifies the truth." And Brother Ray says, "I wish heaven within you all until we meet again." We appreciate you, Ray. And
yeah, because I'm telling you, man, that this is problematic. But we don't want to accept the fact that most of us are living a lie. We're living a lie. We're saying things that's not true. We want people to think we are a certain way and we're not. We want people to think that we're more than we are. We're, like you said, low self-esteem. We can't say, I don't care what you think about me when you say, Big Brother Jahi, what are you doing now? Well, I don't have a job right now, but I'm looking for one, or I'm trying to get my own business. That's okay. But see, I got to lie to you and say, you ain't seen me at a job lately because something's in the work, Chazz. Keep your eyes open. You're going to see something big within the next month. You're going to see your boy riding on the clouds, all this dumb stuff, man, see. All this stupid stuff, instead of just saying, it's tough right now.
Yeah.
And then that way, it is what it is. But we always want people to think we are more than we are. And when we do get something, some of us, when we do get something, 9 times out of 10, it's killing us to pay for it. It is killing us to stay with the Jones, keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
So this lying gotta stop, man. We got another week of this. To those who watch this broadcast, I'm gonna let Chazz take us home, but I want to let you know that we truly appreciate you watching this broadcast. This is a hot broadcast. It's a broadcast that talks about subjects that a lot of us don't like to face, but yet we want to say to all of you, we appreciate you tuning in every Wednesday. Tune in next week so we can do part 2 to liars. If you are a liar, if I am a liar, as Chazz said earlier, if you don't need serious help, stop.
Right.
Just tell the truth. Your life would be much better. You ain't gotta tell one lie, and then when you get caught in a lie, you gotta tell another lie to get out of that lie, and then you tell another lie, and then all you have is a cycle of lies. And our children are catching on to this, and our children are seeing us this way. So again, I like to say to you all, stop lying. And I'm talking to myself too, because this broadcast is about humanity. And we know we don't have a broadcast where we talk about you as if we're not doing it. We're liars too. So we all have to stop this lying, y'all. Please. Because we're too old for this. So Chazz, I'm gonna let you take us home, but here's a comment, and then we'll get out of here. Sister Rashonda says, Shimotel bros, that means she's want us to leave in a certain kind of peace, the best peace that one could have, and we thank her for that. We say to her, too. Chazz, take us home, and I am done.
It was an excellent broadcast. I really enjoyed it. But basically, our theme of it was about liars. How we've been dealing with this at a young age, all the way down to adulthood. It's a tough thing to kick, and I'm not knocking anyone who has this issue, because we all have issues, but recognize it and just try to stop this thing cold turkey. Stop putting things on your kids. Stop putting stuff on your Bible. Stop putting stuff on everything, and just say, you know what? I did or I didn't do it. Because what's going to happen is, like we mentioned earlier, people are not going to believe you. People are never ever going to, they're going to always second, third, and triple check everything that you say. And a lot of people aren't going to want to be around you because they can't trust you, because you're just lying about any and everything. And last but not least, don't feel like you have to lie to fit in with a certain group. Be yourself. If they like you, they like you, and if they don't, they don't. I can't wait till next week. Hopefully we get a lot of dialogue like we did this week. But brother, I really did enjoy this dialogue on this one.
All right, then. We'll see you guys next week.
Take care, everybody.
Peace.